School Spotlight. Here's Craig Way.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Spotlight.
His is that unmistakable voice.
Young from the shotgun.
The one they call the voice of the Texas Longhorns.
Fits to the 5. Young, touchdown.
But for 1 week last fall, that voice went quiet.
It was the hardest day of my life. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
But let's go back to the beginning first. Craig and Laurie Way's is a quiet love story.
Our first date was actually after I had to broadcast play-by-play of a high school basketball playoff game.
They married, had a son and a daughter, and another daughter, and another son.
She was my best friend. She'd have to be a good friend and to be a supportive of the crazy lifestyle that a broadcaster leads. She would also keep me in my place and remind me of the things that were important in life. Meaning us, our family, our kids, our life.
That included summers on the North Carolina coast, and life moved along as it should.
Lake Travis and Westlake were the top seeds.
Craig on the radio, Laurie at church, volunteering, mom extraordinaire to 4 children.
She was an incredible mother and a great wife.
And then came February 2011.
It's kind of shocking and scary at first.
And it was cancer.
She went through 8 complete weeks of radiation, and it seemed to knock it out. And she was in remission for 2 years. In 2013, around the holidays, she felt it again and didn't say anything to anybody until right near the end of the holidays and said, I think it's back. And I said, well, let's get back to the doctor. And she said, let's wait till the holidays are over. And then it just became, the last 2.5 years became just a real battle from there on that. And yet, through all of that, she carried on, still missing very few of the kids' activities, and she would go to chemo treatments and then make sure she was there to pick one up from school or be at a daughter's dance recital.
In June of 2016, the doctors told Craig and Laurie the chemo wasn't working. And by October, Laurie's feeding tube was no longer working either.
I said, I think we need to go to Christopher House.
At Hospice Austin's Christopher House, the Way family met Chaplain Diana Dorden.
They kept their eye on the ball. And what I mean by that is we have so many people that come into Christopher House that show up in their own way. But what Laurie and Craig did is they had a vision for what they wanted to accomplish in the time that they had.
We walked into the room and opened the windows, and there's this beautiful beach mural, and she always loved the beach, and she said, there's my beach. And then we settled in there. It became apparent that it was going to be more of a matter of hours or days rather than weeks or whatever. To have your 4 kids stand at their mother's bedside and say goodbye to their mother, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Saying goodbye to a loved one, or in this case your wife of 30 years, is an extremely difficult thing to do, but there is some resolution and closure there, and they at Hospice Austin made that possible to make it easier to deal with that when some people aren't fortunate enough to have that opportunity or that experience.
So if you're the voice of the Longhorns, what was Laurie Way?
She was the rock behind the voice. She was the key, and that's why I was very grateful to Hospice Austin and Christopher House, because that rock of my life was able to be comfortable and relaxed and being able to rest down the stretch.